1, 2, 3, 4.
So what was your mindset while writing those stories?
Admittedly, this is a bit of a hard question for me to answer, mainly because it's taken me about a year or so to get this idea perfected. I wanted to make sure that this idea came out in the right way and did exactly what I wanted it to do, and because of it, I've had write after rewrite after rewrite after rewrite to make sure this thing delivered well. That being said, throughout the entire creation process, there were a lot of emotions stirring. This thing challenged me in a way not only emotionally, but musically in a way I've never really faced before. So a lot of the time I was excited when things worked and nervous when things were shaky and I had to figure them out. I was stressed a lot of this. I wanted to really get something out that I could be super proud of. And I think now that I'm finally here and we're getting this thing out, I'm really just excited. I'm excited to share this with you. I've put a lot of work into this. I also put a lot of the work into the art behind it, releasing a bunch of different merch designs as things have been going on, and different posters and different aesthetics to those things. Because this is a time of season I'm very excited for. I love Halloween. I like things that are spooky and scary, and so to contribute to that in a way like I feel like I am right now is awesome. I am very excited for this, and I hope you guys can be too. This is a really, really cool EP I've put a lot of work behind, and I think you guys are going to see it when it comes out.
What came first, the beat or the song?
In my music, a lot of the time I find myself starting with the beat. It's just something that works for me really well, especially since a lot of the time I'm producing my own work. This is because I feel I can capture the emotion of what I'm trying to do first before writing something to really enhance that experience with somebody. A lot of the times you'll see that I release my own instrumentals, and that's because I do them all myself. I really enjoy sitting down, messing around with a keyboard or other instruments, and making something that is special and different enough for me to make something amazing out of it. From there, I'm a very confident writer. I've won a lot of awards for my writing in the past, especially in my college and high school days. And because of it, I feel that a lot of the time I capture the story I'm trying to really well. I can really play around with different syntax and different syllable counts even to make sure that something fits right into what I'm trying to do. And because of that, I think I stand really strong, especially in this EP. This EP captures all of the stories I wanted to really well because they're well written, and the beats I made for them beforehand really got something different going for them that I can be proud of. And because of that, I think you're going to see a lot of that. It's a really, really cool and different EP that captures something different, and I am nothing but proud for it. So I hope you guys recognize that when you're listening.
What is the EP about?
I think the title says it really well. This is just a small collection of ghost stories that you can musically listen to and have a good time with. I think they're very lyrically driven and tell good stories that can be very fun. Kind of reminds me a lot of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark or Goosebumps even, where it's just a bunch of little snippets that don't necessarily connect, but really tell a whole story that you can feel a style to. That being said, we have songs in this thing about serial killers and about sleep paralysis demons and ghosts and ritual sacrifices and even one about fighting robots. This thing just has a bunch to offer, and I'm really excited about that. I think this is going to be a project that people aren't going to quite know how to approach, and I think that's really cool in a way. People are going to listen to this thing and have their favorites and have their least favorites, and it's always going to change from person to person because it's written to do it that way. And that's really cool to me. That's something that I was aiming at when writing this thing. So if you're looking for just a quick EP about some ghosts and about some demons and about some monsters and everything else in between, this is a great place to start. I think I captured everything I was looking to well in making a true Halloween classic, and I hope you guys can get behind it as well.
What do you want listeners to know when they listen to the EP?
The first thing I want people to know is that I'm a really big fan of horror movies and the horror genre in general. I like being scared and spooked. It's such a fun thing, especially when it's done in a fictional setting where people are aiming just to make your day a little bit spookier. It's just something that I've grown up around. My mom was a special effects artist, and so because of it, I got to see a lot of that stuff in action growing up, and it's something that's really close to me, as odd as that might seem. Because of that, I think this EP reflects a lot of that passion really well. I think people who are a fan of horror will like it, and people who aren't a fan of horror will like it. Hip-hop fans, rock fans, a lot of people in between. This thing really hits on a lot of different levels that I don't see a lot in music, and because of that, I think it's an exciting and cool project that a lot of people are going to be able to get behind. It's an entirely new thing, and I'm hoping it's an entirely new thing that I can continue doing for the rest of my life, if that makes sense. This EP does something that a lot of them don't do, and that's just there's a lot of fun. I feel like a lot of the times in the music I listen to now, it either feels so boxed, like it's a package, or it feels very driven by success rather than driven by fun. And I think this EP does that differently. While I certainly want to succeed by all means, I had a lot of fun making this thing. It really was a bit of a passion project that is going to connect with a lot of people. And that's really cool to me. That's exactly what I was aiming at. So I genuinely hope that when you listen to this, you see a lot of that. I plan to deliver quality in this, and I think I did so in spades. It's a very, very fun EP, and I just, again, as I've said every time, am very excited to release this thing. I think it's going to do well.
Anything else to say?
Absolutely. I want you to stream this on October 31st when it comes out. Please, I have put everything into this thing. I've put a lot of work, a lot of emotion, a lot of heart into something that I think people are going to have a lot of fun with. This is a different, exciting new project from Rat King, and it's something worth getting excited for. That being said, I also have 15 new merch designs on my website, ratkingrap.com. And if you go there and use the code RATPENTS, you can get 10% off of anything. And that's because I want to give you guys something pretty cool. It's a good way to support me while also getting some new and exciting merch to you that has really nice designs on it. When I went to college, I did a lot of graphic design work, and because of that, I feel these have a quality in the designs that really captures a lot of the fun spirit of Halloween and what I see in it. And because of it, I think you guys are going to have something cool to wear, and that's really nice. So please, if you're looking to support me and my music, that would be a wonderful place to start, again, at ratkingrap.com. Afterwards, I just hope you enjoy this. That's pretty much it. This is something that has taken me hours and days and weeks of work to do, and I think you guys are going to love it. So please stream Ghost Stories when it comes out on October 31st. As one final note, I would like to thank the Ascendance podcast for having me on. They are always supporting really unique and underground artists that deserve the love that they don't always get. And I see that every day with them. Ascendance is a godsend as far as a lot of these platforms go, and they give people, real people, a chance to express what they're making and express why it's important to them. And that's super important when it comes to making art. It's nice to get a bit of recognition from people who genuinely care, and Ascendance does that in spades as well. They are wonderful, so I genuinely appreciate this. As a also side note, I am dressed as Randy Marsh from South Park. Just kind of a little joke I wanted to do during this interview. But if you're wondering why I'm dressed looking like a 40-year-old dad, that's because that's what I'm aiming at. It's a 40-year-old South Park character. So I hope you find that funny. But until then, I appreciate you guys. Stream Ghost Stories, and I will see all of you later. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.
Without a doubt, chaos is a natural state of affairs of human beings. We often think about control in our lives. As a matter of fact, the existential viewpoint is that we're not born, but we're thrown into the world. We're thrown into a rather chaotic world. And then we have to make choices moment by moment in order to make sense out of the chaos into which we're thrown. Problem is that when we try to control that which is out of our control, we become an incredibly anxiety-prone society. And that's what gets us into trouble.